Hi, welcome back to SaharaTV. This is the Roundtable. We've been talking to Martin Oloja, who is the editor, Abuja editor of the Guardian newspaper. When we left out, he was talking about the inability of the media to cover the whole of the country. And I want to ask him, Martin, you know, Lagos is the center of the media in Nigeria. So if I understand why they can't cover a place like Sokoto or Bauchi or Kwara State or somewhere, but why can't they cover the Makoko story as thorough as we expect? And what is the problem there?
I want to suspect that there is a very healthy relationship. Mark the word healthy. Healthy relationship. I don't know whether you want to call it unhealthy. I want to call it a healthy relationship between the Lagos state government and the organized media in Lagos. And you don't report, don't tell, don't talk about it. I think there is some mysterious thing about Lagos that cannot be covered. But I know that this thing started from the regime of Tinubu in Lagos, and I think he was able to get a lot of the senior people to his side. And the man is in our world here is a good man, and I believe that he has spread the goodness to
quote unquote good
media.
You mean quote unquote? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, quote unquote, a good man.
Good man, okay.
A good man.
Yeah.
And a good man, a wise man, a strategic planner, and I think he has planned the media out of relevance in Lagos to the extent that I think it's a causal relationship between the leadership of the party that he now heads and what happens in the media. I think that is the way I can explain it, because if sometimes when you open newspapers, national newspapers, you will not see anything about Lagos. Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Where they are printing all the newspapers too.
Yes, where all the newspapers are located. And where even the economy of Lagos is bigger than so many states, about even 1/3 of the states put together. If not more than 1/3 of the states put together, the economy of Lagos generates about 30 billion naira every month, IGR, apart from what they get money every month in Abuja here. So Lagos is a place that should be well covered by all the media, but it's a mystery that a mystery and a paradox of our development that Lagos cannot be covered. That is why, my brother, I tell you, you will not hear so much about that Morocco saga. That should be an award-winning story to Metro reporters in other
places. Yeah, very good. I know, I understand. You know, when you have a good man and they are showing and spreading good news, you end up not having the real news. Now let's go to Abuja, where you are, where I think a lot of our media people are too. And recently, I mean, this week we had about the workers at Power Holding Company of Nigeria protesting. So who is the good man stopping the story from Abuja from coming out? And what is the story really? Because people are worried. What is the story? Why are people protesting?
You know, there has been this protest even preceded the inauguration of this administration. There has been this power play between this electricity workers association and the mainstream power sector ministry. In other words, the Ministry of Power. You recall that even before the current minister came on board, they protested that he should not be appointed minister because he had played some role as an advisor. He headed one presidential council like this, and then from there he became prime minister. The workers there, most of whom are patriotic and unionists, and then they have felt that the current leadership will not be able to deliver anything good to Nigeria. And they supported some of these things, even though some of them have been sacked now. And I think it's been there. And they want to retire them. They are trying to implement the power sector law that was enacted under the last Obasanjo, but they have not been able to do it. They want to split the company into different companies.
Hello? Martin?
They want to get into some generation, transmission, and distribution companies. But they have not had the will to do this thing effectively. But they have not been able to do it effectively. The workers are taking control of the political will. So it's a reasonable sense of urgency has not been there. And transparency, they are also talking about. In the sector, the workers who have been in the sector, they know what goes on, money that has been released. They know that they are not going to settle them. They want to get them into some redundancy. They want to sack them. They want to do all sorts of things. And then the cards have not been put and laid on the table by the people that are running the ministry sector. Even the federal government has not said something concrete to workers to allay their affairs.
But we read that they wouldn't let the minister
come. Be transparent. We're going to do this in the interest of this country. So that is the problem that we have.
Now, Martin,
the minister, yes, they have been talking about the minister. They have. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Martin?
I was saying that there has been no love lost between the minister and the workers, yes. Hello, I can hear you.
Go ahead. I know there's a delay. That's why we're kind of talking over each other, but continue.
Okay. Yeah. I was saying that there's no love lost between the electricity workers and the minister. I said right from the outset of this administration that was sworn in May last year. There has been love lost. They will continue to fight, and then you won't find any peace in the sector as soon as possible. You won't find any peace because the workers will continue to agitate. They will continue to draw attention to issues that the federal government may not want to address immediately.
So, what about the people? What do people feel in this conflict between the workers and the government? How do the people on the street? How do they feel about? Are they supporting the workers, or are they supporting the government? What is the feeling over there? Martin, can you hear me? Hello, Martin, can you hear me?
You know, the people the people are hopeless, and then what guides the people in most of the policies is here.
Okay, I think our connection to Martin is lost, and I'm going to try to reconnect with him. I was asking him what he feels that the people in Nigeria, considering the fact that the power has been one of the biggest failures of the government of Nigeria, we want to know what the people on the street are thinking about. And also we're going to talk about Patience Jonathan as permanent secretary. I want to know if, as the Abuja bureau chief of the Guardian, whether he went to the swearing in. Martin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Sorry, we lost you for a moment. Can you put on your camera? The camera is off. Can you put it on so that we can see you? So briefly, I understand what you are saying about the people being helpless, especially when the people that work for the power corporation are not really, they've not been impressing the Nigerians. Probably that's why Nigerians do not care about their plight. But maybe we can leave that and run to the issue of Patience Jonathan being a permanent secretary with the state government in Bayelsa. Now, I want to ask you, did you go to the swearing-in ceremony?
I don't have any reason to that kind of swearing-in ceremony because it's no ceremony. It's an abnormal ceremony to a lot of people in Nigeria here.
Yeah, Martin, your camera is still off.
It's an absurdity of some sort in public service.
Yeah, Martin, your camera is still off. Can you see if you can?
The camera is still off?
Yeah, we can see you here. If you can, if you can't, we will put up your picture while you set that up. But we want you to continue to talk about Patience Jonathan. So, what is really the story? How did she become a permanent secretary after 14 years of being out of service? Because from the point the husband became the deputy governor of the state, she ceased to work for the state, I believe. How did she, all of a sudden, 14 years after, became a permanent secretary? Can you hear me?
Well, it's a mystery. Yes, I can hear you. It's a mystery how she became a permanent secretary, because even in the statement that the state governor released to the media here, they were saying something inconsistent about her bio data, that she joined the civil service. They were talking about in the 90s. They were not specific about the date, that she was of directorate level. They didn't state the cadre at that level, which was a mystery, because everything about public service now here, especially the civil service, is about specific. And that is the highest cadre in the civil service in Nigeria. You know, we have a common establishment matter in Nigeria. And in section 171 of the Constitution, I think, and some where they talk about things, about the permanent secretary, is the highest appointment in the public service, and it is not possible really to appoint somebody that has not been in office for about 14 years. Now it's a mystery that they are talking about appointing that person.
Okay, Martin, I think we
as the
okay, good.
Secretary.
Yeah, let me ask.
The permanent secretary is not somebody that you just appoint anyhow. The person must have grown.
Yeah, let me ask you, because I would like to know. I would like to know, you know, as someone in the media, if the media is monitoring something like this over here, what we'll be looking for is, how did she travel to that event? Did she fly in a presidential jet? Who is going to pay for that? Because as a staff of the Bayelsa government, they should be paying for her travel. Did she go with all the SSS and all the security that are going around with her? How do you separate that, the role of the first lady and that of the permanent secretary?
My brother, you know, let me even take you back. You saw that when this Dana air crash story broke, you know, even that the first lady flew to Lagos at that time, and there was presidential movement. It was later seen on channel television that she had actually traveled to Lagos to attend child dedication of one of their citizens from Bayelsa State in Lagos. She went with a presidential jet. Similarly, in this story, she also went with the whole paraphernalia of office. She went with a jet, and she went with the state security people and all the protocol people that you could think of that have always been moving with her. There was no restriction. She traveled there. She traveled there to be sworn in a presidential jet. And you will see on the footage that we saw on television here that she was very, very visible, and you saw the people following her. She was even more visible than the governor himself. So that's a strange permanent secretary in a way. And we do not know how that permanent secretary would function from Abuja here. It's a civil service job. We knew that appointment is irregular. And going to that kind of place to be permanent secretary, they should allocate an office and a ministry and an agency to her, and she should do the work. But in this case, she won't do the work. We don't know the motive, and we don't know where they are going with that appointment yet, but it's an irregular appointment. She went there with presidential jet. But you know, the way you are talking about this presidential jet thing, it is not an issue in Nigeria. Anybody abuses public utility in any office here, all the ministers, all the governors, all their wives, all their even concubines, and all sorts of people like that, they abuse public office and they spend public funds anyhow. That is why we are where we are. Maybe that is why we are not a member of BRICS now. We are not part of G20, and we are just saying that by 2020 we will be one of the biggest economies in the world. That will be a mirage from the way we spend public funds here. We don't care. We are talking about the United States, where even the president whose salary and allowances you know, cannot just even deviate from the protocol list that has been prepared for him to travel anywhere here. They can travel anywhere. They don't have to tell us how much they spend. They don't tell us. So if the first lady can do anything, the wife of any governor in Nigeria can do anything, and nobody will ask any question.
All right, Martin, let's we will take a break now. When we come back, we will let our viewers join us in this discussion. We want to hear from them about the power holding company, about Patience Jonathan being a permanent secretary, and about Makoko residents who were displaced, and any other thing on their mind. So when we come back, stay with us, Martin. We will get our viewers involved in this discussion, and we go ahead and see where we can go with this talk. Thank you so much for being with us.